one question that sometimes gets asked is, well, if someone set up a lasting power of attorney, how is it revoked? And in essence, revocation involves making an application to the Court of Protection, and then the judge will decide whether to revoke it. And usually there are two main grounds for revoking a lasting power of attorney. The first, which is not often relied upon, is demonstrating that the person actually lacked capacity to set it up in the first place. And so you do sometimes have cases where family members have organised for a person with dementia to set up an LPA when it was actually quite clear at the time that they didn't have the capacity to do so. Now, that should have been picked up at the time, but sometimes it isn't. So if the person lacks capacity to set up an LPA, that can be a ground for revocation. There is also another ground for revoking an LPA, and this is more common. And so if, let's say, a family member is not acting in the person's best interests, and if that can be proven, and often having to prove it is the challenge, but if you can prove, and it's often local authorities that are involved here, if a local authority proves that the person is not acting, let's say, in the person's financial best interests, maybe there is evidence of financial abuse, maybe they've been taking the person's money and spending it inappropriately on themselves, for example, then the local authority or the public guardian can make an application to the Court of Protection. And if the court is satisfied that the person is not acting in best interests, because of course that's the role of an attorney to act in best interests, if they're not doing so, then that provides grounds for the court to revoke the LPA. And then, of course, if it is revoked, the court will have to decide what to do then. And it might be, in a financial case, if there's still a substantial amount of money at stake, they might look to appoint a financial deputy outside the family.